Hi, my name is Michelle DeLong, and my speech is over the LGBT fight. The values of our parents are engraved in us at a young age. We learn from them and want to believe in what they believe. Sadly, sometimes their views are negative and not willing to change. As we grow, our family shapes our views of the world around us. If our parents are highly religious and have certain views on homosexuality as a sin, we will seem to follow these views. When we become old enough to view the world through our own eyes, the beliefs that we once had may change and develop into our own way of dealing with the world around us. Although many religions believe that homosexuality is a great sin and forbid the behavior, this is the views of our parents. Our attitude toward the issue might become more tolerable and understanding. This is an important change in our society. We need to be more understanding towards others, and having hate in our hearts only makes us weak and petty. As a child, I remember how intolerance for different lifestyles was accepted. Many could not see that someone who had the same sex preference could not be trusted. They were flamboyant and sexually dangerous, which made them not trustworthy. It was sad times. Everyone knows who Ellen is. But there was a time when she was the first person to have a leading role with the character playing a lesbian. She wasn't accepted as easily as she is nowadays. Her role in the LGBT equality movement is one of the reasons that more people stand with this movement. She is a great advocate for gay rights and is now a popular talk show host and comedian. As more people advocated for gay rights and we saw that the homophobic ideology was no longer tolerated, views on this subject started to change. Maybe not as fast as most people would like, but change has happened. The dislike of homosexual people is what homophobia is. This prejudice toward others has caused many people to commit hate crimes that either abuse or murder the victim. The murder of Matthew Shepard was an international story that changed many laws against hate crimes. The poor 21-year-old was beaten and left tied up to a fence. It was not found for 18 hours. The events of that night have become a centerpiece for the gay rights movement. The Matthew Shepard Foundation was created by his mother and promotes tolerance and diversity. A prominent gay rights advocate, Andrew Sullivan, is quoted as saying, "I think a lot of gay people, when they first heard of the horrifying event, felt sort of punched in the stomach. I mean, kind of encapsulated our fears of being victimized." Even during the Matthew Shepard's funeral, the father had to wear a bulletproof vest during his son's funeral for the fear of another hate crime. Across the world and here in our own backyard, misguided or even evil individuals will target people for their different beliefs or sexual preference. ISIS, the terrorist group, has targeted homosexuals and created fear among all of us. The Florida nightclub is just one example of their methods. Within a few hours, one man caused one of the deadliest mass shootings in our country. To accomplish this change, many people have had to suffer abuse from hate crimes toward the LGBT community. Homosexuals have endured horrible atrocities from people that are full of hate and intolerance for many centuries. Sadly, there are around 77 countries where homosexuality is illegal, even punishable by death. As humans, we can be horrible creatures. History has proven that we are capable of despicable torture to people that we do not agree with. From being burned at the stake in the Middle Ages to being gunned down in a gay nightclub in the 20th century. Martin Luther King said it the best when he was quoted saying, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Although the most religions' faith is of one God, to love thy neighbor, somehow this is misinterpreted to mean only a certain group of people are worthy of God's love. Learning from our past mistakes and changing the future of the LBGT community has a long way to go. Finding the strength to make a change for the better creates strength from within. Finding the right words and creating the right reaction to your statement is important for making the change that is needed for equality. Without stronger hate crimes laws, saving lives and having stronger nation on equality will fail. Ones who commit these crimes have to be held accountable and shown that it will not be tolerated anymore. The strength that comes from acknowledging that you are different and are not ashamed of your different lifestyle is uplifting. The essay that moved me the most from our textbook is When the Political is Personal, written by Anne Marie Nicolosi. The decision to come out to her students had her scared. Would she lose her credibility and become an outcast? The day came and she had their attention and the admiration of her fellow LBGT supporters. Her scenario of being asked if she was married or had a boyfriend and having to deny that she was in a relationship with a woman helped the class open up about their own homophobic tendencies. The professor stated that having the ability to speak freely in front of my students was a liberating experience. Although her actions did little to change the rules on her campus, she was able to be true to herself and not deny her own identity. Strength comes from being true to your own self and not letting fear control you. This professor provided her students the power to debate an important subject and hopefully change views of some of her students. Even if only one person changed, she still was able to show that she was not ashamed of the life she lives and the partner that she shares her life with. The ways of our parents will no longer be accepted. We want equality for all and demand the change. Having the strength to come forward for a worthy cause and change the world is a slow process, but an honorable one. Standing up for others and making a change is one of the best feelings you can have. Find something you are passionate about and help make it better. Getting involved and helping others will help make your life important, for you are changing the world for the better and not letting inequality prevail anymore. Does anybody have any questions?
What can we do to change homophobic minds? Like, what can we do to better the safety for homosexuals?
The best thing is being more understanding, being tolerable, researching, seeing the horrible things that have happened to gay people in the past. Learning that that stuff is not something you will ever want to do.
Okay, so how many actual hate crimes occur every year?
Probably quite a few. I have not researched that, so that would probably. There's quite a few. There are 77 countries that you're not allowed to be gay in, or you die.
What countries are those?
I have not researched that either.
What are some of the torture methods that people have used on homosexuals?
Mainly beating. ISIS has beheaded, hung, burned. There's probably all kinds. What? Answer what?
No.
Okay, keep going, sis.
How many kids go through not being able to identify themselves during high school or during grade level school, because their parents or their schoolmates say that being gay or homosexual is bad? How many kids go through struggling with not identifying themselves?
In the past,
Or what can we do to help those kids within the schools?
show tolerance. Long as you're showing tolerance and understanding and being a friend to that person, that's gonna help their life. Even if they have to go home and they're not understood at home, at school, they know somebody has their back, is on their side, no matter what their preference is. Okay? Any other questions? All right, thank you.